Alright folks, so in this video you're going to learn how to guarantee 100% that whatever offer you're thinking about creating is going to sell. People are going to buy it. Okay, and it doesn't really matter what offer you're thinking about creating. Maybe you're looking to add a low ticket to your funnel or a mid ticket, or maybe you're looking to make tweaks to your high ticket or even add another high ticket. Doesn't really matter. We're going to walk through how to make sure that it's going to sell, because one of the biggest fears on people's minds when they are diving into creating a new product is that what if they create something, they spend hours, weeks, potentially a lot of money creating something, and then people don't want it, right? This happens a lot, because here's what most people do when they are thinking about, creating some type of offer is they either, one, they just create. They have this idea and they sort of just go right into creating it. They assume that their audience wants this. They think to themselves that they are so smart, they have such a great idea, and so obviously people are going to buy what I have, right? This is probably what the majority does, right? Then there's a handful of people who do option 2, which still isn't the right way, but it's at least better than option 1. Option 2 is they might make a IG story or something. Maybe they send an email, and in that piece of content they ask, hey, I'm looking to do XYZ, would you want that? Okay, they sort of ask this question hey, I'm looking to do a workshop, some book, some course on XYZ topic, would you want that? And if they see that there is some positive response, they then go ahead and create the product. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this way is better than just going into creating right away, but it's actually still not the best way to make sure that whatever offer you have will sell. Let me explain what was wrong with that second method, right? Because you might be thinking, well, I'm getting demand, people are saying that they want it, shouldn't I create it? Well, here's the missing piece. There are a lot of cases where people say that they want something, right? However, when it actually comes to paying money, very different story, right? So it's not the optimal way to just validate through conversation or through email list signups, some wait list or whatever. You actually need to make sure that people will pay. But then your next question probably is, well, how do I get people to pay me if I don't have a product? Well, there are 2 options for this. Let's say you're doing cold traffic, right? So this is paid ads. You're selling to people who don't really know you. Maybe you don't have an organic audience, right? What you want to do is you want to make sure that people will pay for whatever you have or for whatever offer you have in mind before you actually create it. And so you have this idea, and let's say you're doing cold traffic. What you do is that you sort of build a half-ass sales page, right? And then you run an ad, or probably 3 ads, driving this cold traffic to the sales page where you have your offer. And if people buy, within like 50 to $100 depending on the offer, then you build a product. Yeah, you this is about actually getting sales without a product. And you might think that's a little bit unethical. As soon as they buy, just like refund them. I mean, they don't really lose anything and you gain a lot from it. In fact, in some cases, you can send them an email saying that, yeah, you don't have the product ready, but I am in the process of creating it, right? And so when it's finished, I'm going to give you the product and I'm going to give you like some free bonuses as well. Since you waited, you bought early, etc. Right? And most people, believe it or not, actually accept that offer from you. Like, sure, they might be a little bit pissed that, well, I just fucking bought something and I don't have it. But they often will just wait for the product to be finished because, I mean, they bought it, they want it, right? So this is sort of the cold traffic way. Now, if you have an organic audience, right, what you can do is once again send out like an email or an IG story, like in the example I gave you earlier, and you first validate through just like regular conversation. You check if people want this, right? So you say something along the lines of, hey, I'm looking to create XYZ and we're going to cover, you know, ABC. Would you want that? Like, would you join if I did something like this? And if you get a ton of responses and there's no real like number that I can give you, right? When it comes to cold traffic, if you can get like 2 to 3 sales, that at, you know, $20 a day in ad spend, like before you spend $100, like you have something that can crush, right? But when it comes to validating just through these like conversations, hand raisers, it's hard to say, but that is what you do first. You validate through just like the hand raiser, and this way you know that it's going to be worth it to at least like create a sales page, right? Don't create the product yet, right? Don't have anything yet. Just create the sales page, okay? So you check if people want it, right? So demand, and that's just through regular hand raisers. And if it is the case that there is demand, what you then do is you build like a half shitty sales page, right? Oh, that is not a good S, right? So you build a half shitty sales page, and this is also assuming that you sort of know what problem you're looking to solve, right? Hopefully you're not just thinking about covering some topic and you don't even know what problem like you're going to solve, or why you're solving that problem. That is actually the step what to do before even asking the question of would you want me to create XYZ, is you have to ask what problems are you suffering from, right? You actually need to know why you're creating what you're creating. So sometimes you can sort of know that intuitively depending on how long you've been in the market and how long you've known your audience, but hopefully you also actually like talk to your audience, or you know, try to validate pain points, etc. So you have a much better idea on what problem is worth solving, and now you might have an idea on how to solve that problem, and that's when you go into this step, okay? Actually validating an offer, a solution, right? So yeah, demand, and then you build like a half shitty sales page, and then what you do is that you sort of just like pre-sell it, and you can do this much easier with organic audience. It doesn't really work with cold traffic. But what you do is once you have this sales page, right, is that you send, I mean, a couple of emails and maybe, you know, social media posts, basically driving people to this sales page. But you pre-sell. So what you do is you say, hey, and this is what you would have on the sales page as well, but you have it in this content too, is, hey, I'm going to release this offer on, I don't know, some date, a week from now, whatever, 2 weeks from now. I'm going to release it. And I want some people to sort of like go through it and give me some feedback, like go through it as I build it. And if you want to be one of those, you get, I don't know, some discount or whatever, or you get some bonus, right? And what you will see is, first of all, will people actually pay for the offer, right? Will people pay for it? If you get no sales during this like pre-sale thing, you don't need to build a product, right? If you get a very few amount of sales, then once again you can just like refund them and say, hey, I'm really sorry, but there wasn't like enough people who actually wanted this for me to like create it, etc. So I'm giving you a refund. That's completely fine. Like, people are not going to explode over that, right? And if you do get a lot of sales that you're happy with, then you can, you know, start building the product, and you can take this sort of like test group or whatever with you. It depends on, you know, what the offer actually is. If it's some sort of course, then you can have some early people join so that they can give you feedback, etc. But this also allows you to get paid while building, right? So if you get sales when you do this pre-sale, then you can make like 2 videos or whatever, course videos, within like the next couple of days. You have them go through it, and you basically just keep on creating content as they go through it and like give you feedback and stuff. And maybe you can even take in like more students as you do this, so you're getting paid while creating the course. And the good thing about, you know, the feedback is you're getting feedback right away on how to make the product better, right? This is a very repeatable process. So hopefully this makes sense. If you like this video, then you can just, I don't know, subscribe, whatever.